What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Spencer, showcasing another step-by-step combo tutorial today. If you guys are new to the series, basically I find combos from around the internet that are really popular, and I break them down step by step, because sometimes when people say effective this, effective that, it's really confusing because the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is really confusing. Also, there's a whole new lot of players, from Master Duel that are making their way over to the TCG to see what it's all about. So these videos, I hope, help bridge the gap and explain some of the more popular decks going around in the format. And one of those is Cyberse Eldlich. Found this in a DB Grinder video. It will be in the description where you can find the gameplay video for this. But this deck is going around everywhere. I'm pretty sure everybody plays this combo, but if you're new to it, you have no idea what these cards do. This kind of helps explain everything. So I'll literally take it step by step. Go ahead and normal summon Dotscaper. So if this card's sent to the graveyard, you get to special summon it back. So pretty good effect, honestly. Really, really good. And also, is it banish? If it's banished, it also gets to special summon itself. But really, the only important thing you need to know about Cyberse Eldlich is that you need to be able to make 2 link 1s. So that's Dotscaper. Obviously, run 3 of those. There's like Cyberse Gadget, which special summons a token when it's normal summon. So there's like, the reason this deck is so good is not because like the end board is amazing. I mean, it's good. It's very good. But again, I've talked about this a lot in my videos, especially recently when it comes to like prank kids and stuff. It's not like you have to have the most overpowered end board. Can you do it every time? And this deck definitely can. And Eldlich also plays the pile decks, so they're playing the adventure token stuff. This is obviously just a 1-card play starter, and you'll see what it ends up turning into. So you can go ahead and normal summon, or link summon, normal summon, into a Link Disciple. So this effect will come up in a second, but obviously this was sent to the graveyard as a link material, so it gets to bring itself right back. And then you can go ahead and link summon one more time into Link Devotee. So this card's really important for a couple reasons. It brings a couple of tokens, which definitely is cool. But it says when it's special summoned for the rest of this turn, you cannot link summon Link 3 or higher monsters. That's important because that is a mandatory effect, it's called, meaning that every time it's summoned, the effect of you can only special summon Link 3 or higher is an actual activated effect on the field. And every time it's link summoned, it can be special summoned multiple times. That effect is going to activate, which is important for a Link monster that's coming up. But Link Disciple says you can tribute a monster this card points to draw 1 card, and when this card is tributed, it special summons 2 Link tokens, which is crazy, honestly. Like I said, there's the mandatory effect. And we can use the effect to tribute, draw a card. Oop, it's Scythe. That's not what we want to draw. Go ahead and send that back. And the only reason Scarlet Sanguine is here is to basically say that when you look at, I've looked at a few combos, right? I've looked at a base deck which uses the adventure token stuff, during its combos. I've looked at Prank Kids, which really has nothing to do with the adventure token, and this is the same idea. So Eldlich is literally just there. If you played the game for a while, you remember Synchro Eldlich that came out. It's just a supplemental engine to combos. That's all Eldlich ever is, and it's probably all it ever will be, right? But we can get those 2 tokens. You can turn the Link Disciple in one of the tokens, because this is generic materials for some reason, into artifact dagda. So when an effect is activated, any effect, another card, you get to set an artifact monster from your hand or deck to the spell and trap zone. So we can go ahead and turn that last token into a Link Devotee. It's a mandatory effect, like I just talked about, meaning that it's going to trigger, saying you can't special summon Link 3 or higher, even though you already did it. It's a mandatory effect. Boom. Meaning that that's an activated effect, meaning dagda goes off. So it's crazy that 1 card is able to do this. That's what makes this deck so good, right? And from the deck, we can summon or set Scythe. So if you guys don't know what this card does, I'm sure you do. But if it's special summoned during your opponent's turn, they're just locked. They can't go into the extra deck just like that. And then last but not least, you can turn the Dagda and the Devotee into a Predaplant Viridian Anaconda. And if you guys don't know what this card does, if you're really that brand new, basically you just get to send a fusion cell from deck to graveyard. To no one's surprise, that's going to be Fusion Destiny. Fusion Destiny can send the 2 bricks, which is Celestial and Dasher. The reason that the people play this because Dasher special summons the card that comes next in your hand if it's a monster, which is kind of cool. But more importantly, Celestial, if you have no cards in your hand, you get to draw 2 cards. Again, very insane. The monster it summons out is Phoenix Enforcer. This card it pops itself, it pops other cards, it brings itself back. But more importantly, basically what's going to happen during your opponent's turn is they're going to try to do something in the draw phase. You can pop the Phoenix Enforcer itself and the Scythe, popping the Scythe. So during your opponent's turn, it's going to go ahead and summon itself. Your opponent can't go into the extra deck. Phoenix Enforcer is going to bring itself back next turn. You might as well pop Phoenix Enforcer for a couple reasons, right? One of the worries, and sometimes people use Phoenix Enforcer's effects to pop something else on the board because of the Dark Charmer. Well, in this case, you don't have to worry about the Dark Charmer because your opponent can't go into the extra deck just like that, right? But the reason I say that is because Fusion Destiny destroys this monster during this end phase, so it would be destroyed anyways. Might as well might as well destroy it versus anything else. And like I said, the Eldlich engine just is a self-sustaining thing that just happens to be on the side. So this is going to summon out an Eldlich during the turn. This is only like 2 cards, by the way. You're going to have 3 other ones. But then Scarlet Sanguine replaces itself during your turn at that point to Conquistador, into an Omni-Negate. Whatever the case may be, you can do a whole bunch of stuff. But that is the basics of Cyberse Eldlich. A pretty simple deck. So if it's like something you want to start out when you want to play meta, probably a good place to go. Especially the adventure token stuff also is extremely, extremely simple. So kind of a weird place in Yu-Gi-Oh right now, but I thought this was definitely worth showcasing. But yeah, other than that, that's going to do it for today's video, and I'll see you guys next time.